This conference will now be recorded.
All right.
Okay, let's call the meeting to order. Any additions or corrections to the agenda?
There's not.
Is there a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the agenda.
I'll second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion's passed. Meeting minutes from January 21st.
Make a motion to approve the meeting minutes from the December 17th meeting.
January 21st.
January 21st. Am I a month off?
Right.
January 21st meeting.
We'll give you some grace.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion's passed. Monthly financial reports and accounts payable.
You see on there, you get the compensation checks for you all, and that would be the only difference. Any startup has been started. Hey, Dave.
What is the compensation? So much a meeting or what?
$15 a meeting.
You didn't know you got paid.
Wow, I knew, but it's the only reason I took the job.
50 cents a minute? Whatever that calculates out at.
I will make a motion to approve the monthly financial report for January. All in favor? Or is there a second? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion's passed. No public hearings. We're on to old business, part A, tulip tree marketing.
Yeah, tulip tree marketing. So as you remember, we're looking at marketing the city of Zumbrota and trying to do something different than Facebook. And one of the things we're looking at was Google. So I don't think a lot of us understand the Google ads. So I contacted Tulip Tree and got the response right here. It says Google ads do not run individual ads on a fixed schedule and are less predictable. So what they do is they supply Google with up to 15 short headlines, 5 long headlines, and 5 descriptions with up to 20 images and a video when available. Google then automatically tests and optimizes different combinations of these assets, serving as the strongest performing versions based on user behavior, clicks, and overall performance. So it's not really set when you would see this information on the internet or when you would see it. They can create different ad sets that are separate, different topics, so they're not mixed up. You can see the price was fairly large for Google compared to Facebook, but what we're trying to do is to get the city out of Zumbrota and get it out so people will see the city, in different regions. So this is one way. If you have another way that you found, would like to do, I'm more than happy to look into it for you. We don't need to make a decision tonight on this by any means, but just to kind of keep it in your wheelhouse. Any questions on?
Okay, so if I'm reading this right, Kurt, our budget is 9,000?
Our promotional budget is $9,000, correct, for this year, yeah.
And then to do 3 months worth of Google, we're looking at $3,000.
Correct. It looks like a base management fee and then a Google Performance Max ads fee of $1,500, which would equal our $3,135.
We don't really have an example.
Well, I brought some last time there of the Google ads, what they would look like, and we've all seen them. I think depending on no matter what you look at on the internet. But they would, and like I said, Google puts them together. So we would give them the information and Google would put it together, but they could show us an example of one kind of what it looked like.
Is the $5.95 for the Facebook?
That's Facebook, yes.
So much, that much a month?
Yep, that's right. And those are a little bit easier to, well, they lay them out and then they put them out on Facebook.
How much does Tulip Tree charge us then? Do they charge us on top of our, basically on top of our Google? Is that including?
Yeah,
Tulip Tree?
so that's Google and Tulip Tree, yeah.
Okay, together.
Yep.
So you think of the Facebook ads, they don't go outside of,
No, because they're tied to our Facebook page with the city, so therefore, I mean, they may make them out, but they're pretty much seen by people who look at the City of Zumbrota Facebook page, more than likely. I got some on my Facebook, but I have some Zumbrota ties, I think, to it. So yeah, this would be a way to kind of, it's just a different form of marketing. Yeah. I was at a meeting on Friday amongst smaller communities and they were asking questions about marketing. Like, what have you done to market? And I said, well, we bought a billboard and we marketed on Facebook, which is hard. It's great, but it's hard to measure how that's doing, you know? And they were very interested in the digital marketing that we were doing. So it was taken over very well from the other communities. Whether they'll do it or not, I don't know if that's a different story. Because they weren't marketing at all, most of them.
And Tulip Tree said that they didn't have, I was thinking like there were other smaller communities like ours that were working in them, but really we're the first one that's kind of contacted them and said, hey, can you help us?
Yep. I work with them in Orinoco. They're making a city brand in Orinoco. And that's the only other thing that they've done with smaller communities.
Okay, this might be a dumb question, but I'm gonna ask it anyway. There's no one that is currently on city staff that was paid to run our Facebook.
Miranda.
yeah.
Right,
Brandon's our
right.
communication person.
Right. Yeah. So like,
This $595 a month, you know, it's over 7,000 a year just for Facebook, so.
We could maybe create ads in-house and then just pay for the sponsored ads on
that's what I'm
Facebook.
wondering.
And the reach will be a lot larger.
Right.
Yep.
Especially on the Facebook side, if we wanted to do more of Google, I think.
The other thing that
Tree might be good.
I'm not sure where it's at is the business leaders and Broder Business Leader Group. And they're talking about marketing too, and whether they want to, there seems to be some resistance to a chamber. But, you know, either way, if they market, you know, how much more do we need to do? Or do we help fund what they're doing?
I think the Google ads would have a specific purpose. And I'm not opposed to the Google ads. But I think as far as Facebook goes, just looking at the ads that they created for us, I would put 100% faith in Miranda that she could also create that. I mean, there was a Cover Bridge Fest, there was a Enjoy Our Park, there was a, hey, we've got a historic bridge, come on, we've got bike trip, you know.
Those will stay
Now that
on
we've-
the city site though.
Right, but now that we've seen some of the content that they've created for us, can we take that and do our own versus paying for the Facebook side of it?
So I could,
I think the key to Facebook is if you get people to follow you and then their friends follow them, pretty soon it's got a wider reach.
And we didn't necessarily pick up new followers from the money that we paid last year. That's my concern.
Yeah.
It's really-
Can we do contests? I mean,
You gotta go back to the
Like-
videos of Joan.
Well, I
giving
mean,
away dairy.
but you know, like something like that, where, cause like what we would always say is like, hey, you know, share this. But then what's a little trickier is that you gotta get those people's names. That was a little trickier. But then, you know, we always put them in, you know, Bucket and Drew. But I'm just saying, is that then, I mean, we could, when we did that, you could get a lot of shares out there and maybe the shares would get us more people outside of our group.
Sharon, from what we found is if you include people in your Facebook posts, if you've got pictures of people and so forth, they get shared. Their friends pick them up, you know.
You could say like, oh, Lindsay's in mine, you know, like that.
Like tagging people or just
Yeah,
having.
like
people
tagging,
share?
yeah, like tagging, like Lindsay and Joan are at the Covered Bridge part.
I guess I'm still a little uncertain of who we're trying to reach here. Are we trying to reach businesses that want to bring possible business to town? Or are we just trying to reach for tourism?
We're trying to get people to come to Zimbrota overall, both business and tourists, come into town and spend money, visit.
I just wonder if we should be focused on trying to get businesses, attracting businesses that could possibly buy the land that we're trying to sell and so forth. Restaurants and so forth. Attracting people to town. I just don't know the benefit of that just for a tourism point of view.
Money.
Or spend,
Well,
spend money,
yeah.
As a
right?
business owner, I would love people to come to town.
No, if they come to town to visit, they're not coming to town to buy a tree from you. You know what I mean?
They might buy a gift item out of my store,
They might,
or
And we
they
get-
might,
yeah.
I mean, it's word of mouth, definitely.
Yeah.
Obviously, we're not gonna mow their lawn if they're not from out of town, but they might shop.
You may have to push them out of the snow.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean, is what should be our focus as an EDA? The tourism, is that the most important, or is it trying to attract businesses to town?
Yeah, it's both.
Well,
Finding different avenues, like right now, this would be a tourist market, or just figuring out how to market land we have for sale for businesses, we drive businesses in town. I don't wanna do that, I don't think Facebook is the way to do that, I don't think Google ads are the way to do that, I don't think billboards are the way to do that. I don't know how you attract.
Maybe Facebook Marketplace or something like that, you know?
But we, as a city, only have a couple of lots for sale, correct?
Yeah, and they're listed on the city or state website with all other places. So if you go to land for sale in the state of Minnesota, the Zimbrota's 2 lots are listed there. Yeah.
Is that how most DDAs, I mean, they purchase land and then they try to sell it to businesses? I mean, or is that unique to us? Or-
No, I think, like I give you example, Cannon Falls bought land, their EDA bought a large chunk of farmland. And specifically for residential, because new houses hadn't been built in Cannon Falls for many, many years. And that's a very unique situation in smaller communities to buy like a large chunk of land like that. Yeah, I would say as far as EDAs owning land, that's not common. That's from what I've seen, yeah.
I have no idea.
Have we done anything to help market the coffee mill, for example?
We're not selling it though. Like they would market it.
Well, I know they're trying to sell it, but have
Yeah.
we done anything to try to help find somebody to buy it?
No. Yeah, no, I don't know if there's a specific group of people or websites with restaurants for sale, like Facebook Marketplace or what. Yeah. But we can definitely put this on hold and, I could start working with Miranda and putting out some Facebook posts for the city. Prefer that. It's much cheaper, that's for sure, than what this is, and that
I
money's,
don't know, Miranda's pretty expensive. No.
that money's not going anywhere, so.
Yeah.
What about the Google Ads? Is that something worth trying?
I think it would be something more towards our busier season to push. The market, our city, more in our summer months.
So she's starting in May, June, July, August. Or the festival's in September, isn't it?
Right.
So July, August, September.
Do they have to be 3 consecutive months?
I was thinking the same
Ooh,
thing.
yeah,
Well, you
That's a
gotta
good
say it
point.
out loud then.
Yeah, well,
It'd be nice to split it up, spread it out.
yeah.
let me, yeah. Let me ask her if we could do it over 3 separate months and we could select our months. That'd be good.
Yeah, just curious. I just
Yeah.
might, is our campground full,
Is it full?
like seasonals, or how many?
Yeah,
shifts are
seasonal, I
available?
think the seasonal ones are full. And then we were down a little bit last year. Income was up, I think. We were down for the number of campers. That just came in on the weekend, that type of thing.
Yeah, okay, let me ask you, yeah, that's good.
Yeah, because that would be a little, be a chunk of the promotional budget, but it might be worth it to get out farther, and then at least if it made an impact, or you can kind of try
I can assume-
to quantify.
Right, I assume that we would get the, like, analytics from it, correct?
Yes. Yeah,
Like, they would be able to tell us
what they, yeah,
exactly how many clicks and whatnot.
yeah, for sure. Yeah, let me ask her that and I'll bring that to March meeting. Because we're not interested in getting it right now anyway.
Any other discussion on two and three? If not, we will move on to 6B, install loan.
So as you know, Annie's is up and running. EDA voted to open a line of credit for her for $25,000. Working with our city attorneys to draw up the documents, which has taken a while. A lien on our mobile home, proof of meeting with the small business SBDC in Rochester, and quarterly bank statements will be submitted to EDA or part of the terms of the loan. So I've been working with Marcus Lang and Angie and Brian Haugen, who's now obviously retired from the bank, to make sure everything's going smoothly. But if you've been in there, you've seen she's painted, done a nice job. People are very happy that she's continuing that business, so that's a very good thing.
New business, May meeting date.
I need to change the date of our EDA meeting from May 20th to May 13th, if that's a possibility. 20th is obviously a Wednesday. The 13th is also a Wednesday. Miranda told me there's not a meeting in here, so that would be great. If we cannot do it, I could find another date.
Anybody have any issues with that?
Should work for me, I guess.
From me? Need a motion in a second.
Let's have a motion in a
A
second.
motion that we switch our May date from the 20th to the 13th.
I'll second that.
Yes.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
And thank you.
Part B is a daycare.
Yeah. Should be one word, I guess. So many of you know that the old school is for sale, has been for sale for a while, but the price has just recently dropped. And Brian and I had a meeting with a realtor, and I've had 2 separate meetings with people who are very interested in that land now. I think it's going for $350,000, I believe, at this point. It originally was, I think it was $550, wasn't it? Yeah, the old schools. One of them was Michael and Steve Seeley, and they inquired about that school, and they were looking to start a daycare, and I forward them information on how to get a license. Deed does offer at this point right now grants to help start daycares, to get them started. So if they do purchase this and are interested in starting a daycare, I'll be working on that. I had another meeting with a citizen last week who was in the same boat. It was like starting a daycare. It's great on paper to start a daycare, but I don't know if they realize what it takes to start a daycare, to get it all up to date. The building may need updating, but they'll cross that boundary when they come to it. Yeah, if you hear of anything, people interested in that building, just let them know that it's become a very hot piece of real estate as of late. And so I just want the EDA to be aware of that,
What all comes with it, building and that whole.
that whole lot. Yeah.
Is that a corner lot?
No. Well, yeah, I guess it is a big corner.
Yeah, it's a huge corner
Most of the
lot.
block, yeah. But the difference with that one and the coffee mill is the coffee mill was staying quiet for so long. They didn't ask for us to go out and look for him. They still haven't. This one they did. And so this one would be a little bit more active in. But if the coffee mill, well, we always put it out there if anybody comes asking. But we've talked about it in the Zalo meeting too. But that's kind of the difference in some of these. They're trying to sell this business here or this land here. And one of them reached out and said, hey, let us know and help. The other one wanted to stay quiet up until whenever it's not quiet anymore. So.
Has anybody got an estimate on what it's gonna take to renovate
See, I've offered,
operating?
I offered to get a feasibility report done. Well, I didn't offer because that grant has closed, was from Compeer. And just kind of, not a warning to those people who are interested, but I mean, when we got that feasibility report done on your own church, I mean, the amount of work that would have to go into it to get it up to date, to make it a community center was just amazing. Just get bathrooms up to date, kitchens and so on. And if there's, in this church, or excuse me, in the school, if there's asbestos, that's something else. So just kind of giving people you may have to do a lot of work in there. I don't tell
Asbestos
them that.
may have been taken care of.
Yeah.
I know someone who goes to church there. We were talking,
Would they have to remove asbestos if it's contained,
well, if it's a daycare, possibly.
possibly?
Yeah.
Oh, are they doing one,
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know, but do they have to upgrade the bathrooms to accessibility standards, all that stuff? I don't know. If it's not a change of use, I know from the code standpoint, but I don't know from daycare rules standpoint.
So we'll have to see.
Hey, 2025 report.
All right, here's your report.
Are you gonna be singing or anything for this?
No, hope not.
Start at the end.
On pictures. All right, so 2025, what a year. Here's our agenda, what went through in 2025. We'll go pretty quick through this. If you need to stop, please tell me. Here's our goals and our mission as the EDA of Zumbrota to promote and coordinate the development and expansion of special areas of economic activity, including but not limited to industry, commerce, housing, and tourism, while maintaining a high quality of life in Zumbrota for Zumbrota area residents. I think when you became a member of the EDA, that was pretty common sense to you yourself. If you have questions on our goals, please let me know. Here's our membership. Our vice president succeeded in August of 2025 and left. Has now been taken over by Bob Hawley as our vice president, which I let him know via email last 2 weeks ago because he was absent or he volunteered.
We'll miss another meeting.
Whatever.
Voluntold, yeah.
So our executive board last year, there's our attendance. We had one October 15th meeting with no quorum. You've been very good at having these. I have meetings like this in Orinoco and Hayfield, and there regularly is no quorum. For us, I think that was the first one in 2.5 years where we didn't have a quorum available. So it's thank you for your time. As far as permits within the city, we have 13 commercial industrial permits, building permits. I got that from Miles. And you can see the amount of money involved in that was over about $500,000. A couple of the more expensive projects was a Comcast edition, valuation of about $200,000. The Marathon, the signs at Marathon, $7,800 in DFA. I've heard the rumor, I don't know if it's true or not, that Little Caesars is coming to Marathon. Has anyone?
They
Don't
asked
get you
about it.
excited about it though, that's the thing. It's like-
Yeah, they were in and asking questions about it, but that was a long time ago.
So it kind of popped up today.
Is that Comcast edition, is that done or is it started or where is that?
Gosh, I'm trying to remember what that was even.
I just got it from Oz.
I think that was, must have been real early in the year.
Okay.
All right, some of the grants we wrote, the city was awarded a tier 2 grant this year for $85,000, and we're working with Habitat for Humanity on that one. We wrote a grant for a new water fountain, which you wouldn't think is that expensive, but it is. So you'll see that in the spring. Jeff and the guys will install the new water fountain on the trailhead, which will make that look real nice.
You say a water fountain, your drinking fountain?
Yeah, drink fountain. Yeah, it's, and a bottle filler. It's exciting.
Oh.
It's amazing. Exciting. Yeah. Smith, we were awarded some Paint the Town grant, $1,000. So we wrote this grant for Flowers on Main, and they were going to draw, paint on the back of their store. Something happened that was real pertinent to the owner's life, so she did not get it done. So don't go look at it because you'll be like, where is it? These are, okay, so this is our revolving loan that we had out. The Zimbrota Vet Clinic was done before I got here. 281 Main was done before I got here. We worked with Southeast Minnesota Associates, that's the veterinarians who bought the land as you come into Zimbrota. And then Rashid Gami, who we helped him replace his hood on his restaurant. And I'll talk about that in a second. There was still roughly about $27,000 owed to the city in interest on these loans. And these loans are very popular and a very good thing for the city of Zimbrota. And I say that because another community I work in don't have the ability of revolving loan funds, and it's kind of sad that they don't have that ability. So this is great. As a review, I just spoke about this. $25,000 went to fund or help Annie's with her new restaurant venture. We've spoken about it. Like I said, get a chance to get in there, please do. She took the lights down that were awkwardly low, so that
I didn't even notice.
what? I hit my head sitting down.
You didn't go skipping through there.
Yeah. Because they were awkwardly
Pretty
low.
low for me to notice.
New business recognition. Many of you know that Sticks and Stones opened on Main Street. It's a very vibrant business. They have a variety of things in that place. I have their plaque. I'm waiting for Annie's plaque to take that out. And the reason why these plaques aren't always given in time, because this restaurant is now not a restaurant anymore. Taqueria Los.
Taqueria.
Aguacate.
So I've got
Tila.
the plaque. 'Cause
Are they gone?
Yeah, they've been gone for a couple weeks.
So who's using the hood?
So that place, I'm assuming, will more likely become because if you remember, there was even a restaurant coming in there between the two. It was like a pink sign, and
That was good food.
yeah. Well, I don't think they opened. They just had the sign. And then, yeah. So
It's been so many in the last
yeah.
3-4 years.
So hopefully that will move in well. So some miscellaneous information. Obviously, this is information on Zimbrota, but we worked with a News Record newspaper to produce a 2025 visitors guide, a 43-page guide. I still send these out to explore Minnesota, to the visitor stops, like down by Albert Lee. There's one out by Beaver Creek, Minnesota. There's one in St. Cloud. They're all over. And I just periodically send boxes to them to get the city of Zumbrota. They call. We spent $5,000 for 500 visitors guides. I think you're very familiar with them. As a community as well, we also spent $5,400 for 6 months on Facebook advertising. Advertisements, promoted tools, and I gave you all the examples that the Tulip Tree gave us for Facebook advertisement. The EDA also, from the request of the future Zabel or Zabel, do we call it Zabel or Zabel?
Zabel.
I call it Zabel, yeah.
So Zabel formed, and one of the things they needed was a hotel study. The last hotel study done in the city of Zumbrota was 2017, so it was dated. So we had 3 different businesses. We chose HVS to do the hotel study for us. It was beneficial. See the quote here, at scale hotel affiliations such as Best Western, see a variety of ones, or regional bases such as Cobblestone. Our interviews with demand generators in the area indicated that a recognizable hotel affiliation would be preferred for their travelers. It was very beneficial for the city of Zumbrota because we can use this to sell to hotel brands that, yes, it's been proven that hotels should do well in Zumbrota. So Rebound is using this when they go out and kind of shop out hotels and stuff. So it's very beneficial for the city. And one doesn't need to be done for many, many years.
And it is being pursued.
Yep.
Yeah. So.
Here's a list of some of the partners we partner with. I put Rebound Partners on there because we're doing quite a bit with them as far as the city. Zabel. One of the new ones is Code North. Code North, I've been in contact with, and I worked with them last month to write a second Tier 2 grant. Code North is working with Rash Ranch, and the citizens of Rash Ranch now have the ability to buy a little chunk of land. And what this grant would do is help them hook up with expenses such as hooking up water, electricity, and so on. So I worked with them, and so we'll find out in a couple of weeks if we got that grant or not. The negative is because we won it before, we get a 10-point deduction out of 100. So they knew that, and they were still very, very optimistic.
Dave Berglund.
No, it was 2 ladies. He made one.
He's on our board.
Is he? Okay.
So.
Yeah. I had to speak with him. Goals of 2025, very simple, daycare facility and a restaurant. What I'm asking you as an EDA, come back at our next meeting, which is in March. If you have a goal, fantastic. If you would like to discuss goals at that time, fantastic as well. We'll discuss those. But something to think of for 2026, goal that you may have. Thank you for your work in 2025. Looking forward to a strong 2026. You are the best. So, and I want to point out that the best is capitalized. So, that's big time. Like I said, if you want a copy of this, let me know. I kind of use it because I'll get, I use a PowerPoint like this because I'll have other communities ask kind of what you EDA did. So this kind of sums it up for you. You want a printed copy? I can definitely do that as well. Any questions? Okay.
Okay, there is nothing further on the 2025 report. We'll move on to our reports, which is an update on KB Apartments.
Yeah, actually, this just got done this week. It was a public hearing, I believe. Yeah, it was held on February 10th because, it just got done. So the sale and rezone was approved by the Planning and Zoning Committee. I think it goes to City council?
Yeah, there'll be a whole bunch of stuff on the city council agenda, including this. Basically, just have to rezone this little chunk to match the PUD. And then Keller Barton will have to get rid of the property lines, combine them into one. But the sale was already approved by council. It's just the rezone now. There will be a ordinance on the agenda to memorialize the initial rezone of the rest of it. We were in between city attorneys at the time. Mike Flaherty was not up to speed in all this. Matt was gone. There should have been an ordinance done to memorialize what council approved. They approved the rezoning on a motion, but it wasn't memorialized. So asking council to do that. Also, there will be the developers agreement will be on the council agenda. It includes language for those 17 spots in the alley. I can't remember the exact wording of it, but it basically says that it will not be private parking. It'll always be available on a first come, first serve to the public. Something like that wording. And that was worked through by the city attorney as well, and that's recorded with the property, so it goes with the property. That was one of the big questions we had moving through this whole process, and I promised it would be in there. It's in there, so. And then, gosh, I think that's it on that.
Have you pursued anything with using the library for parking in the meantime while it's being constructed?
No. What we did was put on there that they can't park on Main Street for sure. And then when they built the first building, they were filling up all the spots in front of the businesses. So they've had experience with that. They will not be doing that. I can't remember what the wording of the parking is during construction I think it says public lots is what it says. Of course, not the alley because it won't even be open. It'll be all fenced in.
But isn't the
So-
library not able to be used during?
It could be, yep. On Tuesdays, it's packed. The library is jam-packed Tuesday morning for story hours. So, I mean, we were just looking at it the other day. We had an executive team meeting and that parking lot was full. It's amazing how many people they get, so. But I think it talks about public lots. The one across is not usually full over by the Goose. And then the one down behind Roxanne and back that way is, there's usually a few spots. So we'll work with them as they go. And it's panelized construction. There's not going to be a whole bunch of people there pounding nails and building walls. All those walls are going to come in sections and then just craned up there. So there won't be, I don't think there'll be the volume of people working there that there was even on the other building.
I would expect it'd be pretty similar, but I don't know.
There won't be a whole bunch of framers like there was in the other building. They had tons and tons of framers framing the walls and everything, but they're all gonna be panelized, basically connect them to the floor, connect them together. It's gonna be built pretty quickly.
They don't have an expected start date yet, though.
Not yet, nope, we need to get past this this is kind of all of it, all the final stuff at once. And then they have to do their due diligence on combining the lots, which is that's pretty easy for them through the county. And then, I know what else is on there. The approval of the site plans is on there. That was done by city staff, Jeff, Public Works, Bill Angerman, Scott Honicky, WH Gas, Miles was involved. And there's always some conditions to go along with that. So that's on the agenda too. It's pretty much the Miles Robb show with the Ridgeview Apartments for the council meeting.
Okay. There's nothing further.
Thanks for coming out and